So we have this piece called Ice Castle, and you know what I can do? Saying when this actually goes live, I can send you a PDF of this,
Exactly.
and then people looking online can just see the PDF of the piece. They can actually see a PDF of everything we're going over.
Yep.
Yeah. So Ice Castle, if you look at it, it is completely open notes, except with the condition of playing C at the second, or the first fret of the second string. So let me just play the piece for you all. You can see how simple it really is. So. There's a repeat. It kind of sounds Ice Castle-ish. doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I've never been to one.
Yeah, me either. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I just watched Frozen.
That was my inspiration.
Let it
Oh,
go.
it was? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we
Inspiration.
both have daughters, or
Right.
nephews.
Yeah, I have a 3-year-old.
Or, yeah.
So you guys, what do you guys think? You want to just do the
Yeah.
first line?
Do you want us to go piano at 17?
Yeah, it was a good observation. So I didn't do that.
I just heard it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But why don't we just go over the lines? We'll do the first line.
Sure.
All right. So keep in mind in the third measure, that's when you put your first finger there. Now what we're doing here is we're paddling with I, M, and A on the upper 3 strings, and then we're getting our bass notes with our thumb. So we never actually have to really leave this hand position in this piece. It's a really good piece to start out with in the classical guitar because you're not having to do anything extremely complex, and you're just paddling with these 3 fingers here, or arpeggiating. An arpeggio, if you don't know, is a broken chord, so that's what an arpeggio is, and then a block chord would be essentially some kind of just paddling and playing 3 notes at the same time. Okay, let's just do line 1. So 1, 2, ready, go. First finger. Good, great. Let's do the second line now. So that'll just be, you'll have a note for each quarter note of that measure. So it'll be, so let's do just the second line. So 1, 2, ready, go. Nice. And then let's do the 2 lines together.
And should I let the block chord ring out?
Just
while
let it ring out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it ring out is totally fine. So let's do those first 2 lines. So 1, 2, ready, go. Good. Sounds really good. So if you take a look at line 3 and line 4 and 5, you might want to take note where the C occurs. I wrote down the first finger and some of the C's, but not all of them. So just remember, C is your first fret, second string, and this is the only left-hand finger you're going to use in this piece. That's it. So yeah, just take a look real quick. Measures.
He kicks in at the third measure, and then is it just holding there the whole time now?
Yeah. Third and fourth measure stays there, and then at the fifth measure it goes away. And then, let's see, measure 9, 10, measure 11, it comes back. And then on measure 11 to 13, 14, 15, 16, 11 to 16, you have just your finger on the C. Okay, so keep in mind also those bass notes are going to change, right? So we're going to have open E's, open A's, and open D's. So why don't we just do line 3? That's it, just line 3. So 1, 2, 3, go. Great, good. I just wanted to mention one thing, which you guys did a great job of, is when you were playing your arpeggio, you weren't going.
Not pulling up.
You weren't stopping the strings. You kept the sound going. The guitar by nature is percussive because once you play a note, it decays quickly. The sound decays. So in classical guitar, and I imagine finger-style steel string guitars, you want to let those notes ring and you don't want to chop them off. So when they were doing their arpeggio, they weren't going like this. That sounds more like an exercise, right? Good. So let's do the fourth line. And that's with the open A in the bass, and then the fourth string D in the bass. And then we have our first finger C down the whole time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. All right, how about we do line 3 and 4 together? So 1, 2, ready, go. First finger goes down. Nice. And then measure 17. Chris pointed out that we were going to go piano there. And the reason I wanted to go piano there because the chord that precedes measure 17 sounds like this. There's a little bit of tension there in that chord. You can hear it's not quite resolved, but then the chord does resolve there at measure 17. So if we play. A nice effect. It's going from basically that's what we would call a 4/3 suspension. The fourth of the chord is actually being suspended and then resolved to the third of the chord. So this chord right here is essentially a G6 with a suspended fourth, and then this chord is a G6 because you have the G, the B, that's the third. You have the D, which is the fifth, and the sixth of the chord would be the open E. Or you could call it E minor 7. We're not going to get into all that. But cool. So let's do line 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do line 5 and then end the piece. So line 5. 1, 2, 3, go. So, I just wanted to talk about the end of the piece. In classical guitar, or when you're performing, if you end a piece, I'll kind of give you a demonstration. I'll give you two examples of an ending. Here's one of them. You know, it just doesn't have a real good effect if you end that way, right? So the idea, you're in control of the piece, it's your piece, so you can end it this way. You stop, so you stop the sound when you're ready to stop the sound. And that lets the audience know you're actually finished with your piece of music. An abrupt ending, you play all this beautiful music, and then if you end abruptly, kind of ruins the piece in a way, you know. So be in control of your endings. If you end well, but you play terribly throughout the piece, sometimes that's all that matters. So,
Start well, end well. The
Start
rest will
well.
the rest will take care of itself.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Udi used to say that all the time.
all right, let's do the whole thing.
Alright.
So keep in mind, we do have that repeat for measures, so you have measures 9 to 13, 14, 15, 16. We're just gonna repeat that, those middle two lines once, right? And then we'll finish the piece.
So we're gonna do the whole thing, right?
Yeah, let's do the whole thing.
Alright, let's do it.
And then remember, we're gonna go piano at measure 17. So I guess the first part of the piece would just be getting the notes, and that's what we're doing right now. And then later on, we could incorporate musical ideas. We could do something Ponticello, something more piano, something dulce. It's just, that's the fun part. Once you get the notes and you can actually physically play the notes, then you can start playing the music. Right? So, whole thing. 1, 2, maybe a little quicker. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat here. Piano.
Don't you know when you play piano?
Yeah, it's
You
really
can hear-
good.
I just heard it. So when I was following his the way his arrangement he was playing, I noticed he got soft right there. So that's when I heard in 17 he went a little bit softer. I'm like, oh, and I didn't see the symbol P down there or 2 P's, or
Right.
how soft he wanted it to be.
Right. So sometimes, you know, or most of the time, a composer will add musical ideas. For these pieces, I didn't do that. I just like to experiment
Yeah.
with some things, right? So let's try some experimentation. So let's do the first 4 measures, just the top line. Let's do an echo effect. So measure 1 will be mezzo forte or forte, and then measure 2 will be piano. And then measure 3 will be forte, measure 4 will be piano. Let's try that. All right, let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Really nice effect, right? It's like an echo. So then let's do that from,
Sounds like a march in the beginning.
Right.
Like
right. Let's do line 1 and 2, and we'll do that same thing. So measure 7 will be forte, 8 will be, I'm sorry, measure 5 will be forte, measure 6 piano,
Yeah, so all the odd ones are loud, all the even ones are quiet.
Or soft. Yeah. All right. You get the idea. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. That was really nice. So I think with musicality and coming up with different colors and different tones, I think that when you make a musical idea, a child should be able to understand. So when a child listens to it, they're like, oh, clearly we were loud there, clearly we were soft there. So it should be a very simple thing to hear. It's not always simple to do as a performer, but that's what we want to convey to the audience. We want it to be a really simple thing to hear. You know exactly what we decided to do. So I think that sounds pretty good. We just have the echo effect there. Any ideas on what you would like to do on the third line? Anybody? So we could do piano, forte, we could do ponticello, we could do dulce.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to hear the difference between dulce and ponticello in an echo kind of setting.
Right. So why
To
don't
break up the arpeggios.
Right.
You can do, I would say maybe dulce from 9, starting at 9,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could go pizzicato from 13, but do it as a progression.
I see.
Like.
Right. So you're saying we should, at measure, you say dulce at measure 9?
Yeah, did I?
Yeah.
I said maybe pizzicato at 9, you know, when it starts off like.
So it starts off more twangy and it gets warmer as
Yeah.
the arpeggios go on.
I call it the Julian Bream effect.
Right.
He does that a lot.
Right,
Like he'll
right.
play up here, then
Kind of bring it back down.
Yeah.
he'll die it down over there. I've never seen, I don't know, he was the first person to hear
Right.
that.
Yeah, Julian Bream was, if you ever get a chance to listen to his recordings or see him play, his color tone options, I mean, his right hand is just all over the place.
Yeah.
Right, which is
But
amazing.
he does it right for the pieces, I felt.
Right.
Especially like, Spanish music is so like, it can be very aggressive and percussive sometimes, but there are elegant romantic parts of it, so you can just, I don't know, that's how I felt, like I love Spanish, like composers, Granados,
Uh-huh.
Maldinas, all of them, like they're just amazing, but the way the subtleties, tonality there, like I thought he did pretty spot on.
He was fantastic in
Yeah,
that.
I mean, there's other great guitarists that
For sure.
that, you know, Borio does a great, Manuel, did I pronounce that right?
Caparezco?
Yeah, Borio, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, coming from an electric background, we have, you know, you have the neck pickup and the bridge pickup. And
Right.
You flip between the two of them. Makes sense to use the same style or the same approach when you're playing finger style.
Right, so when you're playing electric guitar, do you have much control over that? So if if your pickup was here
Mm-hmm.
and it was switched to here, you wouldn't be able to get much of a
Right.
ponticello sound, would you?
It's a lot more work, I would say.
Right.
Because you have a three-way switch, 1, 2.
Right,
You're on near your fretboard, you're like, oh, I want that, you know, low tone, that.
like a jazz
But then,
song.
yeah, like sort of a jazz, but then, say the song wants to go a little bit higher, you know, like a little in tonality,
Yeah,
then you have to go switch, then go up maybe closer to, and which will pick up this pickup.
right.
And electric guitar to me is difficult that way. You have to really know that instrument, or how that tool works for you.
Right, exactly.
Here, it's like, here.
Here's the
Oh, yeah,
guitar.
yeah, like here are your options. It makes it
Right.
easy, but it also,
Right. So,
anyway, don't need to revert back.
What's his name again?
Julian Breed?
Bream,
yeah,
okay.
Julian Bream. So I guess Chris's idea was we're gonna start measure 9, ponticello. just slowly bring it up.
Yep.
And what did you wanna do at measure 13? So I guess once we get to measure 13, we're pretty much Dolce, right?
Yeah, and
We go
then
back.
we can go back, well.
Did you wanna, how about this? Here's my recommendation.
Sure,
Once
go
we get
ahead.
to measure 13, we could be Dolce.
Yeah,
But then why don't we move to our mezzo forte and then crescendo up until, so 13, 14, 15, 16. So at measure 16, we crescendo up to forte.
correct.
So crescendo means to raise your volume.
Yeah, and then when we come to 17, that increases the piano. feel.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Because otherwise, once again, if we didn't do that,
It would be
wouldn't-
flat.
It
Yeah.
wouldn't have been, that effect wouldn't work, right? So, okay, let's try that, measure 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice, that worked great. I thought that was really nice. Let's see, so let's go from, you guys would just wanna try the whole piece at that point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
we
gonna
can-
say we got like 5 minutes.
Oh, we only have 5 minutes, so yeah, let's try the whole piece now with those musical ideas.
Yeah.
I think it'll, and sometimes it's hard to remember these ideas. You have to write them in and you have to practice them that way.
Yeah, so we're doing the echo for the first ones.
Yeah, first 2
Then we're
lines.
gonna do our timbre change up and down,
Right.
and then the rest of the piece is
Yeah, the rest.
piano.
Well, the rest of the piece, so starting at measure 17, once again, we're piano at 17, right?
Correct.
We can crescendo, and then when we get to the last line, measure 21, we could be forte, then piano.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat, Monticello. Piano. Crescendo.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was really good. I mean, you guys did excellent.
Thanks.
Couldn't
Well-
ask for a better class.
Well, we had a great teacher.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
thanks.
Thanks for
Great.
walking us through this.
Yeah, no problem. So I mean, there's more pieces in there. They get a little, some of them get a little more complicated. I accidentally put autumn path in there twice, I think.
Wow, you're doing tremolo too.
Yeah, just a quick little exercise.
Yeah, I have not done that in a while.
Cola top is my favorite. It's I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but
Right.
No, these are great pieces.
yeah, it's great for
I like them,
beginners.
John.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the introduction.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.